Hello and welcome to the Tarkis zone. Today I'm just doing a small video of the many critters that I've got on my property. As you can see here, whoop, there he goes. There's another one that ran up ahead of him. There's Copper, my dog. Doesn't really care about the rabbits all that much. And then we've got my free-range chickens and ducks. Normally, well, I should say they're semi-free range. So what I do is I normally keep them in this very large enclosure for them. And there's a large part of this enclosure that's behind this shed. So they've got quite a bit of space, and their coop themselves, the inside of there is pretty large. And I pump fresh water to this upper pond every day. In the spring and in the fall, this is when I do let them free range. Because there's nothing they're going to hurt in the fall. And what they're going to do is they're going to eat up the apple droppings. They're going to eat up extra weed seeds that might be kicking around. They're just generally going to go around and systematically look at every single spot they can look at and see if it's food or not. And if it is, they're going to eat it, and they're going to process that food into poo, and then they leave that on my yard. So it's perfect fertilizer. So if you've got chickens, do think about letting them out in the fall and in the spring just to roam around for a few days. Then put them back up, give the lawn a breather for a week, mow it, do whatever you want, then let them out again. I mean, I normally don't let them out in the middle of the summer, only because I don't want them taking on my they'll go after these things when they're really young, and I'd have no pumpkins, or I'd have nothing. Chickens will systematically find everything yummy in your garden and eat that first. You can't really have them running around during the growing season. They will come and work on this area here, because we've got some sunflower droppings here. As you can see, they've already been digging in here. So they'll clean up and fertilize this nicely. They do the same for this garden here. Actually, if we scroll over here, they're perfect creatures to clean up and rototill your gardens. And here, the reason why they did it is because of all the seed droppings off this sunflower. So they're going to go, and they're going to go through all this. They'll go through the first inch of the soil and take all your bugs, all your bug larvae. They'll fertilize at the same time they're eating everything that's bad for your garden, and they're removing it for me. So they've gone through this entire area and cleaned it for me. And I don't have to go in here and weed in the spring, because they've eaten the seeds that would have been weeds. And it works out to be very helpful to me, because I don't like to weed. And you can hear the ducks here. They're noisy today because they're hoping that I will feed them, which I'm going to do now as part of my video. So we'll go, and I think the closest food bag is in the other direction, so that's not going to happen right now. We had some, there's a couple small ones in there, so I guess we had another grouping of ducks that got born on the property. Alright, so really that's about it. I would show you my feeding method, but that will have to go for another video. I got the bags of feed still in the car, and I haven't brought them down to the shed yet. Maybe we could go in this direction and see if we can see a couple more rabbits. The rabbit population here is huge. Right before dusk, on average, let's say, I've got at least 5 rabbits in these fields, between this field and the one we just left over there. At least 5 every night. And that, so basically if I got 5 sitting in the field, how many are still sitting in the woods? And as the saying goes, rabbits like to breed. So you have a good ecosystem when you've got rabbits running around, your birds, look healthy, your chickens look healthy, all your plants look healthy. And I don't use anything harsh or pesticides or high-end fertilizers. I'll use a very organic blend fertilizer for my vegetable gardens, and I'll put that in the fall, and I'll probably do a video on that and get it into the soil. But it's an organic. It's not anything that's going to harm the soil itself. I don't like to use anything like that. These guys right here have probably gone in here and cleaned up all the weed seeds, all the bugs, everything they wanted to clean up, and they have probably fertilized this garden for me, where I'll never have to put anything on this. And that's what's great about chickens. If you know how to use them, you can save yourselves so much gardening. And if you've got an area where you want them to really work it for you to get everything out of there, take their food. You can use scratch, what they call scratch food, or you can use layer pellets and just throw it in there. Throw it all in there. You know, line this whole stuff with their chicken food, and they'll work that bed for a month looking for that food, and they will eat everything that's in there. And normally, you'd want to do this when you've got it well established like this. You see what I'm saying? That's why this is clean. They've cleaned this. I haven't had to weed any of this. You know, I just put a little bit of feed in there every once in a while, and it hasn't harmed the main plant at all. They just keep on fertilizing it for me. Those ducks are talking to each other. Well, I didn't really want to bore you with just taking video of my ducks and chickens. So really, I thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone.